Woohoo! Hey, welcome everybody to Hex Token channel. Here's your host, Superman, and I hope you guys have a good time. Man, oh man, lots of good stuff happening. Of course, we are moving forward in the Pulsechain journey, so it's going to be a lot of excitement. Sounds like my audio is up and running. No poll today, but we've got lots to talk about with the Pulsechain Testnet 2B. So we're going to look at that a little bit there and get into it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Right, so let's get into the chat, folks. Say hello. That's what we love, is the community number one. Pump our bags on the way, and of course, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. If you want to become a channel member as well, hit the join button. We've got Pulsechins, Hexkins, and Richard Hart Club. Great way of supporting this channel as we promote those projects into the future. Very, very cool. We've got Brenton in the house. We've got Fish Tank in the house with the woohoos. I love it. And the Magic Carpet Ride just did their show with KG on the internet money. Just closed just a little while back there, about maybe 20 minutes or so. And of course, there was quite a few people in the chat going, woohoo! I thought that was pretty funny. So nice work there, folks. Nice work. All right, Brendan says, let's get that Anzac stream with Ethernet money. That will be a great collab. Yeah, sorry, MCR. Yeah, definitely try and get in contact with them on Twitter and organize some sort of collab. That'd be really cool. And nice, we've got good stuff happening there. Fish Tank says, by adding the letter B to V2B on testnet, the MetaMask people are accessing the testnet and seeing their PLS coins. That's awesome. We're going to check that out too. Woo-hoo-hoo, V2B, absolutely. And Pulsechain, the testnet 2B in MetaMask, nice 2B with 941, says Fish Tank. Very, very nice. Thanks, Fish Tank, for your helpfulness. That's really, really good. Heinz Crypto says, what's up? Hey, good to see you, Heinz. We've got MJB in the wild. Yo, Heinz, you on tomorrow morning, right? And of course, we've got Hexkin from Hexco in. Let's go. Nice. And what else? We've got Pulsechain Hex Game Matt's in the house. Nice one. We've got Pulsechain Hex Game. Woo! I love it. That's the cry. I'll be at the same point tomorrow. I got busy morning in the morning. Nice one. Heinz Crypto and Hodl Generations in the house as well. Woo! Nice. Very, very cool. So here's the big news, of course. 2 hours ago, Richard posted an update about pulsex.com and pulsechain.com. Testnet V2B should be up tomorrow. So that was pretty exciting. People were pretty happy about that. And of course, you can see a lot of the people here, Legend, yeah, baby, and nice one. So some pretty cool stuff there. People were pretty well received there. I knew, says Dolo. My pants just danced, says Mikey Matt. Great news, says Unexpected. We've got pretty cool lightning bolts, dope, nice with the shades. So some very, very cool stuff. LFG, sick. So yeah, really well received, folks. Really well received. And look, in 2 hours, 1,778 likes, 78 quote tweets, and 576 tweets. Man, oh man, you can see that people are really holding on, waiting for this to come out, just like all of us are. Very, very cool. So that's what's out at the moment. Of course, here it is. It's actually indexing at the moment. Let me just refresh this. It's been at 5% blocks for a while. So it's scan.v2b testnetpulse.com. So I'll post that in the chat there, in addition to what Fish Tank's been posting. Pulsechain says we're getting close to mainnet. I think so. I think we're getting sooner than later. I do have a couple comments to make about that later on. So we'll get to the Pulsechain. But Brazology says testnet to be or not to be. That is the question. Well said there, Brazology. Very, very good. All right, so that there is the link there, folks. If you want to add that to your favorites, and you can go and check that out anytime you want. It's currently indexing. It says 5% blocks for a while, so no doubt it's probably going to be right by tomorrow. And as I understand it, it's kind of indexing all the blocks and the data, all those data, smart contracts, everything that's in there, all getting indexed to sort of download. So if you've actually done a node, it's a bit like downloading the whole blockchain, is the way I look at that. So obviously they've got the enhancements that they've done and all that sort of good thing with PulseX going to be on there too. So nice. All right, so I've got 3-second blocks, 135 million transactions downloaded so far and all that sort of good stuff. It is just ticking away. It's got the testnet version 2 over here. It's got the Pulsechain network there, some submitter issues, chat forum and stuff down here. So that's cool. All right, so that's the current one, of course. If we go to the existing one, we've got Pulsechain Testnet 2, which is actually live. That's it says it's got over 1 billion transactions now on there on Pulsechain Testnet 2. So that's pretty awesome, right? 344-second blocks. But that's going to get superseded by this one here, V2B. And of course, if you want to set up your nodes, you can add Pulsechain Testnet 2B. network name. I've just added the 2B there. You've got the RPC link there with the 2B on it. 941, the chain, a TPLS for the symbol, I gather. And of course, we've got the link there as well to the actual block explorer, which I just posted in the chat there. So you can pause the video and add that if you like. Very, very cool. But yeah, looking good, folks. Very positive moving forward. Isn't that great? I love it. It's good. Now, one of the comments was that yesterday, Internet Money with KG was on there, said that obviously he had one of the devs that's going to be working on Internet Money for the AMM, is working on Internet Money, but he's working on Richard Hart's AMM bot. And he was talking about, they might have 5-6 months time down the track. So my only question is, does he have some sort of inside information from that dev about the time frame? Because based on all the information so far, how well Pulsechain is going with the V2, we're kind of expecting it, let's say at the latest by May. And of course, as early as I'll give my new date for my expectations soon, but maybe by May. But some people are saying, summer, I guess, USA time. And so, yes, it's 5-6 months. That seems like a long time. So it just doesn't seem likely that that's going to be the case. So it was just something, a bit of food for thought I had following that interview yesterday. So let me know in the chat what you think about that. Very, very cool. But this is fun. And of course, I guess if there's a Pulsechain interface somewhere, that would be pretty cool to interact with this as well. Obviously, people can search the chain and do lots of cool, funky things on there. So I'm not sure if PLSX on there. So we'll look on there. So we've got some PLX tokens on there. So I don't know if you're sure you muck around with some of those, but it's got, if you actually have, you can actually see, if you add the contracts to the tokens to your MetaMask, you'll actually be able to see your PLS and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty interesting to see that play out. So just looking at the PLX token holders here, based on this here so far. So anyway, it's syncing up. So hopefully by the time it's finished, everything should look pretty good on the Pulse on the Vision 2B. Almost tongue twisting myself there, but very, very cool. All right, cool. Let us jump over to the price, Hex price, of course. We've got that looking not too bad either. I think we wanted to get over 12 cents, particularly 12.5 to 14 is where we really want to get to. 12.5 to 14. That's kind of where we want the zone to go over here. But so far so good. So far so good. And maybe with a bit of momentum when this Vision 2 sort of officially is out with updating, that this might move up a bit higher. Yeah, definitely looks like it's moving up a bit. Just need a bit more strength in it. Get it over 12 cents finally, and in that 12.5 to 14 cent range. We've got Hedron, of course, with all the drama. With the drama comes opportunity, right? With the drama comes opportunity. And of course, there has been a bit of back and forth between Hex and Hedron with some of the bigger wallets in particular, and a lot of small wallets as well, trying to get Hedron with the Hex, speculating on that. But, if Hex had a little runaway and that wasn't completely correlated to Hedron, you could get caught out, right? And you get behind with the Hex, and you got to get back in, so you got to make the profits in the Hedron there. This is what we expected to see. Remember yesterday, I deleted this last night when we did a special price chart. Remember, I said it was going to come back here. At the time, it hadn't done that. Of course, at the time, or would I have actually had it lower about there? It actually started going up, but I suspected that it would still calm down. It has pretty much calmed down there. It's typically what happens after these flash crashes. Comes down there, it will start to ride up. So probably reasonably expect it to sort of do something like that. Yeah, so it could easily get up to, I guess, the 4,000 mark at least. So 4,000 back to where it was sideways, but it'll probably surpass that. Probably get up to this 4,300. So obviously it gets a bit more nervous when the structure's not so clear. It's a little harder to play ball, but it's kind of where I expected it to go, and it has come back finally. But when we were doing the live stream, it was actually going up on this candle, so it was kind of okay. But that happens too. I mean, that happens too, and now it's sort of coming down. So definitely a pretty good opportunity, though. If you're a believer in Hedron long term, though, this is cheap bags, right? This is cheap, and of course, if you think it's going to do maybe a 1250x, what's 1250x from here? That's pretty awesome. So I was at 0.12345, 317. times say 1200x. That would be you know, close to 0.4 of a cent on the price. So some people are talking about 10,000x like Hex. I don't see that personally, but I do see, you know, 1,000x in the game. Hey, but that's just my opinion at the moment, at this current time. But of course, it's a relatively new token. We're in day 22, I think, or 21, 22. Let's have a quick look on that. I think it's 21. So lots of opportunity in this chart, of course, and people are making the most of it for sure. Let us get in there. Let's take a look here. So we're on day 1, and of course, yeah, day number 20 on the chart. Oh, no, day number 21 on the chart. So it was 21 days, and of course, nice little green candle there. We're pretty much pulled back. I don't know why that's moved in terms of its height there. Pretty much pulled back from the high here back down to the 61.8. So we're still at the 61.8 on the pullback. As I say, if this wasn't Hex or Hedron, I could have easily have seen an 86% pullback to 2000, and of course it may still do that before moving back up. So just be a bit more cautious at this stage as well. So yeah, definitely entering into the waters. But I think we'll possibly, given the amount of interest, there's a lot of interest in this, that we could get this nice little rebound here before hitting that 2000. Just my opinion, though. Okay, so it's V2B. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah, it's awesome and exciting. Sandy Beach is in the house. Hello, everyone. Woo, woo. Hey, Sandy Beach, good to see you. Nice to see you in the Magic Carpet Ride chat as well. Smash the likes, you all. Absolutely. Morning, all says Solix. Hey, everybody. Welcome, of course. And get into the chat, folks. Say hello. We would like a vibrant chat. It always makes it a lot more fun. And, of course, the community is what really counts at the end of the day. If you haven't subscribed, of course, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And we're going to have lots of good times there. So that's kind of where I feel this at the moment. It's kind of attractive to get in here, but I kind of feel like we've still got the downward risk of 2000 in play. So, yeah, probably that's where I'd be at the stage. Just getting a bit riskier making a play here. That's basically what I'm saying. All right, cool. Let us have a look at the crypto currencies at the moment. BTC looking great at the moment, 41.8, and ETH almost back at 3,000. Let's just check the ETH chart, see if it's actually gone over 3,000 or not. I haven't actually been looking at this, so just I'm looking at this in real time. Let's have a look at the price here. So no, we haven't gone over 3,000, but we're getting pretty close. This is very bullish for ETH. Very nice to see this play out, actually. And that bodes well for Pulsechain and Pulsechain. So, Richard wants Pulsechain and Pulsechain to come out as soon as possible. And of course, we've seen videos of him saying that explicitly. So I think it's pretty positive that, we'll be sooner than later. It was just interesting to me, KG from Internet Money talking about 5-6 months down the road. Now, that might be the case for their development, but Pulsechain, I couldn't see Pulsechain taking that long. But of course, if you've got a dev that's doing the AMM bot, you've got a little bit of inside information potentially, although you'd think he'd be under an NDA with Richard. So you wouldn't think he'd be able to say much about that, to be honest. All right, cool. So yeah, that's where the market's at, looking positive, folks. This is really good for us, and it bodes well for the Hex and Hedron price. Can't we wait? And we're going to be so excited when we get to have a Hex, Hedron, Pulse, PLX, and incentive token, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be so good. Liquid loans and all the other sacrifice tokens. Going to be really exciting to have these, man. Obviously, we're just going to continue with our patience, but it's nice to see, this V2B syncing up at the moment. So it's going to be really cool. Nice. Let's go back on that. What else could we look at on here? Let's go back up here. And I guess we're trying PLS on there. We looked at PLSX. I'm going to actually go through this Block Explorer after the live stream. I haven't had a chance to go through it, but I'll definitely be hunting through this thing quite a bit after the live stream. So if you want to have a bit of fun, you could do that too. But yeah, so yeah, nice. All right, so cool. Waiting for that to happen. So yeah, nice. All right, so just playing around with some of those. Very cool. Let's jump over to Pulsechain. Of course, this is the end game. We are waiting for the biggest airdrop in crypto history. Once again, I do encourage you to get out there and start sowing the seeds amongst other communities with the airdrops, with the ERC20s. and everyone's getting the biggest airdrop in crypto history with the PRC20s. So it is really good time to the V2B coming out to really start spreading the word into the different communities. Obviously, Shiba seems to be one that we've started to enter into quite nicely, and other ones need to be done too. So very, very cool. Obviously, with Pulsechain, Uniswap, we're going to have the biggest airdrop in biggest yield farming in crypto history. So we can definitely get out into the yield farming communities and spread the word about that. And in addition with the biggest airdrop, and of course, super fast chain and awesome exchange. So pretty awesome. The other thing, of course, is once this hex price races away, currently at 11.9 cents almost, everyone will get a copy on the Pulsechain. So the chance for a run up is very, very high, back to all-time highs at least. And of course, before Pulsechain launches, and of course, then getting copy on Pulsechain, it's kind of just fantastic, right? So very, very exciting. We've already seen Overwatch, the big Rack and Rochelle, one of the big whales, talking about the fact that he wants to throw a whole ton of money at Hex too after the Pulsechain launch. So you could see that it won't just be him around. There'll be lots of other people, and that the Hex token will get really scarce really quick at the moment. So let's have a quick look at the pools at the moment of Hex and see how scarce that actually is at the moment in Uniswap. So obviously there's a circulating supply, but there's only so much in the pool. So we've got 171 million Hex in the pool at the moment. That's not a lot, right? So we've got the T-share rate at the moment. Let's say that everyone staked it. We've got T-share rate at 21,111, and of course, so 171 094 211 divided by the T-share rate at the moment of 2111 111. That's 8,104 T-shares. That's assuming you could buy the whole thing. Yeah, it's not a lot there, folks. We've got the Hex Investment Trust coming in. Overwatch talking about buying big stuff, and there's lots of other players out there. Once we get the FOMO on the chart as well, this will be gone burger, right? And everyone will be wishing they could have bought down here. And of course, a lot of them are waiting for we're going to have a flash crash down to 7-8 cents, that kind of thing. But so far, we've bounced off 10 cents several times now, at least 4 times on this local period. So far, so good. We do want to get it into 12.5 to 14, though, that's for sure. So very, very exciting on this. Man, I cannot wait for liquid loans to launch as well. Now, the sacrifice about to end soon. We're going to cover that shortly. But man, oh man, I really can't wait for liquid loans to operate. I just think that even though it's a month after Pulsechain, we have to have even more patience. But I think once liquid loans gets in there, it's going to be that second supercharge. So we're going to have excitement on Pulsechain when it launches with Pulsex and everything else. It's going to be mad crazy, folks. And then, of course, another month after that, we have liquid loans launching. Man, oh man, pump the Pulse, pump the Pulsex, pump the Hex. It's going to be very, very exciting. And that's to exclude all the big money we're expecting to come into the space from institutions and big private money and stuff like that. So, and retail virality, which we're also pushing in the next 2 years. So super exciting, man. It really is going to be cool. Once, of course, that bridge opens up, that's going to be the fastest way to mass adoption. So we've got the biggest airdrop in crypto history, the biggest yield farm in crypto history, and of course the bridge is going to be the fastest way to mass adoption, and it's going to be insane. We've got potentially millions of people on Ethereum chain with their free airdrops of PRC20s, being able to bring over the ERC20s, match that up, and earn really good incentive tokens and stuff like that inside the pool. That's awesome. And on top of that, of course, we've got the yield farmers, as many of you know, jump chains to the biggest and best thing. But once you get to the Pulsex, it's going to be, the greatest of them all. So, they'll probably never leave, as it were. So pretty awesome stuff there. Excited about that. And then, of course, the feed gateway too. Very, very exciting. I've been watching quite a few liquid loans videos lately, just thinking about that and setting up strategies for the haunted strategy and stuff like that. So I'm going to definitely be running a spreadsheet for that and making sure I max out that opportunity. After, of course, a month after Pulsechain launches, we'll have a more stable Pulsechain price. We'll have a kind of price discovery will have taken place. But once liquid loans happens, it's just another pumpamental. I kind of see it a little bit like the Hex Gold Whale, where it pumped the Hex price way back. So if we pull up the Hex log scale, Hex chart on the log, let us pull it up. You can see what I mean. Let's go back to here and pull up this one. So let me just pull it up on the let's do that here. So this one here on the log chart here, this big pump here in April here. So we could get something like that, right? So a nice big launch here, sort of a run up, a big launch, and then flattening out. Won't be quite like this chart, but this part will be, and with the price run up. So I'm expecting a massive explosion out of the chart and not come down that far, to be honest. So I'm expecting the price chart of Pulse and Pulsechain to be quite similar in some ways. I think that the trickiest part is just the first 2 days where people can trade their Pulsechain for Pulse, but that will be before the bridge opens up. So I'm actually expecting the prices to actually really soar out of the gate and actually hold pretty good relative value without the massive passive pullbacks you typically see, because this is just so big. This is everything landing at once and never been seen before on every aspect. So it's going to be absolutely amazing. You know, first system state copy of Ethereum with the superior tokenomics of deflation and staking and liquid loans lending. It's just insane. We can't wait for it. So I'd like to just refresh ourselves with that sort of ideas, because it really is crazy. All right, let's get to the Pulsechain timeline. Now I've changed a few of these things here. So we've got the Pulsechain Testnet 2. And of course, let me just check the time on that. So Pulsechain Testnet 1 was 77 days. And of course, that ran from, let me just get rid of that. That ran from the 29th of September 21 was Pulsechain Testnet 1. And that ran all the way through to the 15th of December 2021. And of course, that was 77 days. Then, of course, that's this line here. Then, of course, we had Pulsechain Testnet 2 that started on the 12th of December. That they overlap each other so that the projects on Pulsechain Testnet can jump onto Testnet 2. And then that started on the 12th of December, so 3 days. And then, of course, that ran along, and that's been running for longer than 77 days. So we're currently up to, let me see here, currently up to 97 days. Can you believe it? 97 days. So very, very cool. I just realized that this is not quite scaled to the end here. I'll have to fix that up. But then, of course, we've got Pulsechain Testnet 2B, which is where we are now. And that is indexing as we speak. So really, these two are connected. So I'll fix that up tomorrow. I thought I had actually done that, but it doesn't seem to have connected. But so that's what we've got there going, folks. And then I pushed this out a couple of days. So now I've moved the earliest date from the 15th of April to the 18th of April now. So as we get information in, kind of just with the guesstimates on the timeframes, and these are approximately 2 weeks each, and then a couple of days after that for gamification, snapshot block and stuff. So the earliest date 18th at the moment. Very, very cool. We've also got the Talladega coming up on the 24th. It's going to be good. Very, very nice. So with the Pulsechain Testnet 2B, we're expecting Uni and Sushi Swap version 2 AMM bot to be run. So the pools in that, and of course a new block height as well. So yeah, that's what we've got going there. And what else am I going to say about that? That's probably it at this stage, and we're expecting Pulsechain Testnet 3 still, as opposed to gamification. Still expecting that to be in play with the full AMM bot with version 3 pool harvesting. As I say, the technical issue with the version 3 pool on Uniswap is the fact that in version 2 you have funds on both sides of the pool. You have to provide half and half of the pair that you're doing. So Hex and USD, you have to provide half and half in terms of the value. With version 3, of course, you can put liquidity on just one side. You can put it on different parts of the price curve and things like that. So, and you know, not this is so important, but also different fees on there as well. Yeah, pretty different. So it's going to be interesting to see how they resolve that and get that up and running. So I don't think that's particularly, they'll have to take like a certain approach to that and just make a decision and say, yeah, that's how we're going to harvest those version 3 pools. That just makes the pools, you know, obviously so much liquidity in version 3, and we're just making the yield farming the biggest ever by having everything in there. Very, very cool. So I don't know how long that's going to hold it up for or not, or thereabouts. How simple, ideally, making this most simplest way of harvesting those pools is the best approach. So no doubt they're going to look to do that. So yeah, that could make it happen faster than longer. Otherwise, it could drag out a little bit. We'll see how they get on with that. Cool. So that's the timeline there. Nice. Let's get back into the chat there. Got a couple comments as well. Just catch up on the comments before we move on to Hedron a bit. Charity's in the house. Hey there. Hey Charity. Always good to see you. And Charity says, I'm just gonna hodl my Hedron Yeah, who else was saying that? Wave 3 TV was hodling that Hedron. Dave Fedder's hodling his Hedron. So there's a lot of people, influencers that are definitely hodling. It looks like Charity is too, so nice one. Solix says, I feel that the end of April Pulse will launch. Yeah, I think that's kind of the date. It kind of feels good there, Solix, on that one. AK says, when indexing is 100% V2 launches it correct? Yeah, basically, AK. Basically, it's going to be the chain will be up and running. Now it's just the Pulse X interface that I try to get hold of. That's probably the other thing. Kansas Crypto says 2B is working, shows my pulse balance. Yeah, you should be able to see your pulse balance for a lot of people, is my guess on that. So definitely check that out. I haven't actually checked it. This is a test wallet, so I can't check anything on this wallet. So yeah, it's definitely it's got full indexing now, so it looks like it's maybe up and this is the Pulsechain Testnet too. Sorry about that. Let me just add a little B in here. I apologize. It's a trick for players, isn't it? A trick for players. Let's pump into this. All right, so 2B. Yeah, so still got 5% up there, but we'll see how that goes. But definitely you can check add the wallet here, add the network to your MetaMask, and you should be able to check that on the testnet, and you should be able to see that on the blockchain. On the Explorer under your wallet, just paste your wallet in here. Should be able to see your tokens on there, and of course you can add the contracts manually to your wallet on the Pulsechain Testnet 2B. So that's the best way of doing that. Cool. Raymond says, I think Pulsechain will launch sooner rather than later. Me too, Raymond. I think so too. AK says, I was on so many random Twitter spaces. Can you believe that people had no idea what Pulsechain or Richard Hart is? Zero clue. That's how much we're gatekept. Hey, that's a good point. AK, we're gatekept, but also I think it's a big thing for us to, even though everything is awesome for Pulsechain, even though this is so awesome, and of course, going to take a lot of people by shock. We, as I say in the last couple of streams, we need to go out and spread the word and help magnify that, because a lot of us are in a lot of different groups. We can get out and do that. Very, very cool. Fisher says, spank the like button, absolutely. And yeah, what else we got there? AK, once they know they got the biggest airdrop in crypto history and all the incentives, it doesn't take them long to stay there, right? It's pretty much like that. Spank that like button, absolutely. Fish tank. Ben G says, do I have to move my Hex tokens to MetaMask to enjoy the duplicate one? Pulsechain launches? No, you have to do absolutely nothing there, Benji. You just have to add the new blockchain to your wallet, but like adding the Pulsechain Testnet too, and you'll see all your tokens over there on the Block Explorer. So for your wallet, you don't have to do anything. Just add the new network. Very, very cool. Where are your Hex now? The only thing, the question is, if you've got on Polygon level 2, you will have to basically get those off, and you may have to sell them and get them off by Hex on the other chain. I don't know of a bridge that actually bridges Hex back over on Polygon. So let me know in the chat if you know. I'm not aware of a bridge that does Hex back, but you could sell them and just then buy the Hex back on the other chain. It's got to be on Ethereum layer 1 chain. So yeah. Samuel says it is to be out. Yeah, well, it's syncing at the moment. It's indexing. What else we got here? Pulsechain says Pulsex is going to be the best peer-to-peer exchange ever created on Pulsechain, the best network. It's going to allow everyone to get into crypto. Absolutely, Pulsechain. I agree with that 100%. AK says the Uniswap V3 AMM bot issue. You see that causing major delays? That was the only question. I talked about that earlier. I guess just catching up here to your comment. But yeah, that was the only thing that, depending on the approach they take a real simple approach, they could be fine. But if they take a more more difficult approach, not so. But normally really smart, if they're really onto it, then as we expect them to be, they should do a pretty simple approach to harvesting version 3. The simple approach is always the best if you've got one, even if you have to make one up, right? You might have to make one up, because remember, they are printing money out of nothing, right? So it's just an approximation, and they're actually basically, the AMM bot's basically creating money out of nothing. That's what crypto does. So just like anything, I sold a bunch of Hedron, but I am holding the rest, says Brazoldi. Nice. Brazoldi's like, I sold it at the top. I sold it at the top. Nice. And then you've got sections in the house. I'm guessing it might take 6 more months until mainnet. Yeah, well, that's kind of the long-term view. And of course, that's what KG was kind of talking about yesterday with the launch of internet money. But I was just like thinking at the time, I didn't say it on the live stream because obviously I don't want to be, all that. But I was just thinking, well, obviously if he's got the software developer for AMM, but once again, they're under non-disclosure. You know, they should have non-disclosure. So maybe he doesn't know anything for extra. But of course, we had the devs last year, if you remember, at the end of last year, saying, yeah, we can launch not with particularly Pulsechain, but with Pulsechain. And of course, yeah, I still expect to be on the earlier side. So yeah, late April maybe is that what we've got at the moment. Yeah, assuming the V3 is probably the biggest issue. Though it's just the only one I'm concerned about. But once again, they may have a nice quick solution for it. So cool. Sachin says, wait, testnet 2B is out. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're looking at it now. This is the Explorer. It's just indexing the blocks on here. But it's basically out. You can put your wallet in and check it out. Like I say, this is just a test wallet, so I can't actually show you anything much. You can, like I say, look for PLSX and look for tokens like that. So I was just looking for the big. There's some at least small ones here, but this one's got 32,000 holders. So I'm not sure if that's the one there. It looks there's not as much PLXX in there that I would expect it to be in there at this stage, at least. So stuff like that. Anyway, got to be careful interpreting some of those things on there. Frank Nell says, a mega warning, Hexkins tsunami pump incoming. I think so too, Frank. I'm kind of with you. I kind of feel like it's looking good. We're at 11.96 cents. I have a feeling that a lot of people were commenting, and I've kind of said this too, is that, you know, maybe the testnet won't get us. I don't think it will get us a big green candle. I think that's later on, maybe testnet. But the fact that we'll probably get a bit of momentum, and that's what I kind of feel is going to happen with the Pulse, with the Hex price, with the Pulsechain Testnet 2B coming out, which is here at the moment. So yeah, I kind of feel that's the way it's going to be. But I think the market's actually going to be a bit ahead of my statement, and so therefore be a bit more bit more bullish. So that's 2B. I'm just going to 2B. That's 2B there. So looking at the moment. All right. So Pulsex is a launch in June would be great. It's a bit too far away for me, Pulsex. I want to launch earlier as possible, and when the prices of crypto are like this, that's when I want to launch, because the markets are looking. The market's going to be volatile. We've got some real issues with the markets, but we've had better news than expected so far, and I'm really happy about that. So the earlier launch that we have, the better. Richard wants to launch as soon as possible. Hopefully, technically, they can launch, late April, May at the very latest is my hope on that one. Raymond says, can someone point me to how to add PLS to my MetaMask testnet? Let me look here. Is there any plan for a big we'll come back to that, Ramon. Is there any plan for a big media launch when PLS goes live? I don't know. I mean, we have no expectations of work of others, but I imagine that Richard's probably going to do something for that at least. And I know that community definitely will. Kinetics team, Discord Syndicate, they're all looking at doing stuff like that. So no doubt there will be. We see a lot of advertising going around on UK buses and other stuff. So no doubt they will be doing a lot of promotion there. Lammy says, unless BTC is going to 24K or lower, don't really want a bear market launch. That's pretty good. To 24 or lower, don't really want a bear market launch. Me too, Lammy. I'm with you on that. Ramon says, where do I find the 2B network info? Ramon, this is it here. So just pause the video. You can see it here, the network name, etc. So you just add the network and the networks. Go to networks in MetaMask, add networks. Put these details in, and you'll get access to the Pulsechain Testnet 2B. That's 2B, or not to be, as Brazalji says. Thank you for your response, Benji. You're welcome. And V2B or not to be. Yeah, that's going to be the big joke at these days. Get out on Twitter and put that around, V2B or not to be. Pinch Me says, do you think it's a good idea to get Richard and John from SafeMoon connect for a live session? Pretty cool. Project that they are working on as well. Thoughts? I'm actually not really too familiar, to be honest, on that, Pinch Me, so I can't really comment. But any live session would be good, right? Any live session, any exposure is always good, and the discussion can be quite fruitful as well. Michael Key says someone needs to make a cracker video for all the new Kryptonians to Pulsechain after launch. I agree with that 100%, Michael. Get out there and do it. Even Fiverr, you can get videos done on Fiverr for cheap quality videos for promos. And you just pay a couple bucks and get that up and running. Ramon says, I'm confused. Do we have to add a new network to get to version 2B? Or will the current testnet that I already added to Menospec just update? No, Ramon, you have to add this network here. So this is Pulsechain Testnet 2 at the moment. You can see V2 in there, V2 in there. This is Pulsechain Testnet 2B with the 2B and the 2B there. And it's got a different chain ID. Chain ID is 941. Pulsechain Testnet is 940. So Pulsechain Testnet B is 941. All right, so Mecca says, I wonder how long a V2B will run for. Wait, that's what at the moment I've just got 2 weeks, but it could run 3-4 weeks. Who knows? Don't expect it to be too long. Tefron's got the money bags in the house, and mark my words, Hex will start its bull run when Test V3 comes out. Yeah, I think most people are thinking that now. So before Testnet, I thought that Testnet V3 would add a bit of momentum, but now I actually think that it's going to actually spur some really nice little price jumps there. So I'm probably with you on that too. And Ramon says, thanks. Hey, you're welcome. Sandy says, is SafeMoon coming over to Pulsechain? Thanks. Good afternoon. Everybody says J-Pon. Hey, J-Pon's in the house, everybody. We've got to do the J-Pon dance. J-Pon dance. I'm just kidding. All right, I'm just kidding. All right, nice to see J-Pon in the house. AK says, can we check a SAC balance now using these V2B settings? Yes, you can. So just log on to just add it in and paste it in your wallet and let us know. I haven't tried. I have not tried myself. Because I'm doing this live stream. I just went straight onto the live stream. I haven't checked anything on it. So all I did was add the network. That's all I've done. And I've looked at the actual block explorer for V2. I haven't done anything, haven't checked anything. But you could do it in real time. You could do it now and let us know how you get on. Can you see your balances? J-Pon says, man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, that's right. That's where we go. So is 2B running? Well, it's indexing at the moment. So I don't think it's fully up yet. So not being a blockchain expert myself, that looks like it's indexing. So, but it's been saying 5% indexing for a while. So, but apparently you can check your balances on there already. So we're checking. So I would have to do it. I have to do it on this other computer, but then I would not be talking to you guys. So I can't really do two things at once. So yeah. All right, cool. Let's jump over to Hedron. Let us know in the chat if you have checked yourself. Maybe somebody in there. Just add this network, and then of course flip over that network. You don't even have to do that, to be honest. You can just check. Just take scan V2B link there. I think I posted that in the chat. All you have to do is take that, and of course you can just paste your address in there. So you can just paste your address and see what comes up in there. So that's what you have to do. Take that link and just paste your address and see what's go to the right hand side and put your wallet in there and check, see what it's up to. I haven't actually checked, so. Crypto Tycoon said my PLS SAC is there, not PLX. Okay, that's interesting. Nice one. Okay, cool. Well, at least that's half there, so we'll see. That may still be uploaded, I guess. I don't know. I would have thought it would. I don't know how it's going to pick up as it updates. It's all. Let's go to the GitLab and see if there's any info on GitLab yet. PLS Faucet. I'm expecting these to update tomorrow. So the GitLab to update tomorrow. So I thought they had the link to the chain there. Let me just get out of this one and let me go over to Pulsechain. Let's go to Faucet. Cool. Okay, the Faucet works. Just put a 2B in the Faucet. That's going to work. Okay. Connects. Request. Boom. All right. Well, that's going to be good. All right. So let's have a look here and let's wait for the wallet to show up. All right, so I've got one TPLS. Let me go and check that on the Explorer, on the TPLS. and nice. All right, so we've got some coin balances here. Sure, transactions, where did they go? Transactions here, boom. So we've got the transfer here. Let's have a look in here, and I got one pulse. So I just did from the testnet. This is the a faucet for testnet 2B. So here is the testnet faucet for 2B, so you can get some free pulse on the testnet there. So that's it there. So check that out. Crypto Tycoon says agree, it's still uploading. Yep. New custom tokens contract, OX and AO. Nice one, Lammy. Appreciate that. And let's have a look at that. Sorry, folks, we're just doing a few of these in real time, so nice excuse this as we go. I mean, would that come? Did that not show up? Okay. I don't think you can actually post the links. Lammy, I'm still uploading, so I'm still uploading. No, that won't show. Yeah, I can't see that link, sorry. So okay, so that's this gone. That's the latest. So just basically it's the same faucet, but you use V2B for it. So that's cool. And I was going to actually get a copy of that transaction hash from to, and of course, let's have a look back there and close out of there. And view account on to expand view. There's one PLS that I got from the faucet there, so it's come in, so that's cool. You can import tokens with this one here, so you just have to add the contract address in. So you just need to find it on the based on whether you've got the tokens on the blockchain. You can add it into your MetaMask, or you have to find the contract address and add in the symbol, etc., just like normal. It's cool. So I got one TPLS. Let's actually let's see whether we can play a bit more. And let's see if we can do this Uniswap front end. And of course, let's go to 2B now. 2B. So it doesn't look like the Uniswap front ends up with the 2B on there. So that's not working on that particular one. So that was worth a try, though. Yeah, I'm sure. No, that's not going to have anything on it either. Cool. So that's the faucet's working. That's about it at this stage. Cool. All right. I think that was it. Let's see what's happening in the chat there. See whether you guys have got anything on top of that. So, oh yeah, it works. I see my pulse balance. Nice one, Murky. I don't see my Pulsechain. So it looks like Pulsechain is not in there at this stage. A second says, yeah, a few. My PLS balance not accurate. It says section. Yeah, so I think you have to go into the Telegram, don't you? I think there's going to have a way of reconciling your oh, have you got a PLX balance in yours? So the others are not saying that haven't got one. Ramon says, yep, my TPLS is all there. Nice one, Ramon. Lammy says, shows how far our predictions were. I have about 25% less PLS and PLX according to the balances. Still going to be very comfortable going forward. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they should be fairly accurate, but we'll see. Maybe because the blockchain is still sinking, says Mecca. Yeah, that's the thing, folks. Checking at the moment until Richard gives the thumbs up. It may still be sinking. Same here, but maybe it's cause it's not fully out. Yeah, that's the thing. So if it hasn't finished, there's a good chance that it's not. The numbers aren't right. Is my typical experience in that. Yeah, I see. So it's only 5% of blocks are indexing, so it has a long way to go. Yeah, it does. What's the contract address, etc.? PLSX. Well, I did search on a couple of those on. Oh, where did it go? I did search for PLX on here, but I'm not sure if it's actual contract. It's got the only one that's got the PLX on it. Is this one here? So it's possibly that it's this one here. Possibly this one. Who put that in there? Someone put that. Lammy put it in earlier. OX AO. So this looks like the contract address here. This one for PLSX. So just add that into your MetaMask, see whether that works. That's for you, Dan. Damien says, I don't think the forecast balances were correct to start with. You might be right about that, Lemmy. It might have been a bit out there. Fish Tank's got 2.5 on the screen now, says Lemmy. Yeah, on the screen now, that's 2.5. It's got 62. So I think that balance is going up. The PLSX balance is going up. So we'll keep a pick on that. That's 62.2 trillion there. So we're expecting around about maybe 118, 120 something. Obviously, I don't know if it's got the harvesting stuff in there. So we'll see how we get on with that. That's going to be interesting. We'll come back to that. We'll refresh that later. That's probably the way to go. And why not says, sorry if this question has been asked previously. Would it be a good idea to claim and mint Hedron prior to the snapshot for the ERC copy? Well, you can still do it on the Pulsechain. So you're still going to have, I believe you're still going to be able to do it. That's a good question though. So you're going to get a copy of your Hedron that you do mint. I'm pretty sure that you can do it on the stakes on Pulsechain too, but I think you should probably check that with Alex on Hedron, just to confirm that, but it does make sense. Murky says, Lammy, are you sure Pulsechain should be accurate? You got to remember that PulseLead doesn't have accurate data because it doesn't show EVM balances. That's true. The validation is not up yet either, says Crypto Tycoon. Cool. Appreciate that. That's what I mean. The PulseLead was out, yeah. I'm not. So PulseLead was an indicator. Indicative. It's probably the best it was at this stage. I'm not taking any more balance info as final until the indexing is complete. Yeah, that's right. So we're just playing around at the moment, and of course, some balances are in there at least to some degree. So cool. Michael says my TPLS is there. Amount seems about right. No PLX, says Michael. Cool. Add it as a custom token. That's right. Where do we find exact settings for V2B? Well, I've got them here. I've added this in myself, so that's the one there. Where? Reckon's wallet comes up with 0 PLS. Yeah, so we'll wait till it's finished indexing. When it's not finished, it's like this. If you've set up a node in a wallet, like Electroneum used to have nodes. I remember that's my experience with it. We had to set that up on a computer. You have to download all the blocks before it reads your proper asset values and stuff like that. So yeah, probably just like that. A bit late, but how was the Hedron past 78 fulfilled my limit order? Yeah, Cal, nice one, Cal. Yeah, Cal's doing pretty awesome in that. AK also did well out of the Hedron pullback. Where did you get the V2B MetaMask settings? I put them in myself. 941 was from Fish Tank, and of course the rest of it I just added the B in to the scan there. Cool. It seems to work. It works. As you guys saw, I can see my balance. I pulled in one TPLS for the testnet there, and it works. So let's actually let's copy the. Let me just copy. Oh, where's the copy? Copy my address there. Let's go to the Pulsechain. We'll come back to this address. Let me open up another one just so that I want to see that balance stay the same. I've got to change it to 2B. Around. So yeah. So we do agree that we do need to wait until the indexing is finished. But you can definitely play around with it already. It's showing 0 tokens on there. That's interesting. Excuse me, I need a drink. I'm not sure it's not showing anything on there. Right, okay. Maybe because the blocks aren't up to date yet. That's probably why. All right. That's where we got to Hedron. We're up to Hedron, folks. So remember that we talked about the fact that there's a launch phase of 100 days for Hedron. Hedron's it's got a couple of features, but the big one, of course, is that it's kind of like an airdrop to existing Hex stakers. So there's a 100-day launch phase where you get a volume bonus, which is awesome. And of course, every 10 days that drops down by 1x. So start off the first 10 days, 10x, the next 10 days 9x, sorry, and then we're currently under 8x, and of course that's been around for about an hour, a day and 4 hours, so almost a day and 4 hours. It's been at 8x. In 8 days and 20 hours, it's going to drop to 7x. So if the two things that you have to do, so the one thing you have to do is claim to lock in that launch bonus. So it's 8x the volume at the moment. So if you have missed out on 10 and 9x, you still got 8x, which is fantastic, because if you keep waiting, it's going to be 7x, then 6x. Every 10 days it drops down. The first 100 days, of course, is the claim bonus. Very, very easy to do. And then, of course, the second thing you can do is mint your tokens, but you only really need to mint your tokens if you're going to be selling them, right? So just take that into account. So all you have to do is hit the Hedron dApp here, connect up your wallet. You can also add Hedron to your MetaMask there straight from the website, but you connect your wallet and your stakes will show up at the bottom here. And that's what will show up. So let me just change this to... have I got Ethereum on that? No. Let me just change. I'll change this to the Pulsechain Testnet. That might show up my Hex stake in there. I've got a Hex stake on the go.hex.win there. It might show up the stake there just to give you an idea of what happens. So you connect your wallet up. Hopefully that's going to load. It's going to load. Take a second here. But it's going to load your stakes down the bottom here, and then there'll be an action button to the right. On the action button is two functions. The claiming, that's where you claim your 8x bonus, and then of course your minting button where you mint the tokens that you've got. Now you get basically some Hedron paid to you every day that you've served in your stake, and times a B share. So basically Hedron times the B share times the days served. That's what your total is. But of course, if you've got the volume bonus, then you get that multiple of 8x at the moment. So if you'd done it in the first 10 days, you'd be getting 10x on your daily payout. Basically, when you claim that bonus to it, it lasts the life of the stake. So if your stake is for 10 years, you'll be able to claim at a 10x bonus all the way until the end of your stake. Now, if you haven't claimed your Hedron at all, and your stake's about to end on the last day, you need to make sure you claim it all before you end your stake. Otherwise, you will lose it. So we've already heard of stories where people have lost their Hedron bonus because they've in-staked their matured Hex stake, and of course forgot about the Hedron. So just take care out there. Remember that you need to do that. So it's a really cool value added on top. So it's another airdrop, some more bucks for your bank, as it were. But of course, you got to manage that properly. Pretty cool. The contract is a read only, so it's just going to read your wallet and check to make sure that what your Hex stakes are, and of course then you can mint the tokens. So it's pretty cool. The Origin account's done it. The Hex Godwell, many others have done it. So it's pretty fun. The other two features, of course, you can create new stakes with the HSI stakes. That basically makes them wrapped Hex stakes and adds extra functionality to the underlying Hex contract. And also you can make NFTs, so where you can trade the NFTs, sell it on OpenSea if you need to. Maybe something emergency happens, you can sell that. Eventually, of course, we're going to get some HSI stakes you can actually borrow against. So you can't borrow against your existing native stakes that you've done through go.hex or through StakeWrap, but you can, if you make a new stake through the Hex stake instance or HSI, you can borrow against that, right? So you can borrow against the stake with your Hedron. So you can get your Hedron early rather than having to wait for all the days served. You can borrow that Hedron. But if you fail to pay back your payments in 90 days, then it can be called by the community, and it can go to liquidation. Your whole stake, your whole Hex stake can go to liquidation, and then people will be able to bid on that. So we saw some loans early on for Hedron, and in the Hedron life, and so some of them may, if they stay dramatically out of the money, some of them might end up being going to liquidations maybe in 100 days time or something. So we could see some Hedron's liquidations possibly potentially as soon as they're early, and that would show up here. So basically what people can do, because you're getting Hedron free as a Hex holder, you'll be able to bid on these stakes and potentially win new Hex investments, which would be pretty lucrative. Obviously the top Hedron bidder wins, so it is quite competitive. But it's going to be interesting to see that play out when it first does happen. So those are the cool new features. Making new SHI stakes, which wrap stakes and potentially NFT tradable and all that sort of stuff. And of course, the auctions for people that fail back their loans, and of course being able to lend on the new stake. So there's some really cool stuff added. The other thing, of course, is that you're getting a big free airdrop, which is pretty nice as a hex staker. Very, very cool. And of course, if you've got the Hedron, you're going to get a copy on the Pulsechain. So that's really nice with that. Yeah, let's have a look here. So that's pretty cool. The other big thing, of course, internet money finished. And of course, so we watched that live on the Magic Carpet Ride show just about an hour ago or something. So that was super, super fun. A big shout out to the Magic Carpet Ride team. Really a great bunch of guys on there doing some really cool things for the community. And so they had the live show with KG from the Internet Money team. So this is the project here. Now, these numbers probably aren't final because just the way I think they had some issues with feeding the information in. They're pretty close, but they're not final. I do believe they opened up the next percentage. They got a big, nice run of money in the final hour. So this is going to have to be reconciled by the team, and they'll issue that intermediary token when they're ready. So that's quite cool actually. So it's just instead of just getting a distribution file, they'll actually be issuing not only the distribution file but pretty much a intermediary token, which is going to potentially be tradable, right? So that will be pretty good. And of course they've got to spend the rest next few months developing the product and stuff like that. We did hear yesterday, of course, that KG announced that they're going to have a CTO who is from the industry with a lot of skills, as well as having one of their chief developers, if not the chief developer, being Richard Hart's developer doing the AMM bot. So got to be pretty talented to do that. So cool. And we can see it as well. So Pool A was sold out, $1.2 million, 70.8%. And of course, Pool B, I think they got up to the 4% mark. So that definitely bumps up, every percent bumps up the average that people are getting in Pool B. Pool A was probably about 3.5 times more lucrative than Pool B. So that's the way it is. But in the long term, of course, all these, if the project is successful, then all these will be cheap prices, right? Regardless whether you got on Pool A or B, if it does super well. And on Pulsechain as the internet money wallet, then and you get earning the fees from the wallet and PLS, and of course you can ride the price up. Then that it will be a nothing burger in the future, really. So it's going to be pretty cool. Of course, if it does get the intermediary coin does get tradable, you could end up buying those. If some people decide to sell them cheap, you could end up buying some of those as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether much of it, if that does change hands before the actual wallet launches with the official IMD token. So gonna be crazy to see that. So there's the website. Let's jump over to the Internet Money and check out the actual sacrifice amount. This is on the website here. So 1576, is that pretty similar? 1578. So they have synced pretty close now. This was always about 15,000 ahead of the actual official numbers. But once again, these are going to need to be reconciled. In particular, the period between Pool A and Pool B needs to be checked as well. And hopefully that will work out. So I do think that they got to the 4% mark here. So maybe even possibly they even got to the 5% mark, possibly. We'll find out. But the sacrifice is over. Do not sacrifice to the society. They do not want any more tokens at the moment. So cool. This is kind of the bigger number there. 148 was the bigger ones. 126. So they did end up having some decent sized sacrifices in there. And based on these numbers, obviously these are only provisional numbers, but pretty cool, and they got a nice distribution. So very, very cool. Congratulations to everybody that sacrificed for Internet Money. If that wallet is successful like MetaMask, we know that MetaMask is going to be doing some sort of a token coming up for MetaMask. If this is even 10% as successful as that on Pulsechain, then man, it's going to be very lucrative to hold the IMD token as well. All right, cool. Let us get on to the other sacrifices. Obviously, we talked about Mintra closing. It closed off already, so that's finished. We've got Liquid Loans still going, but almost done, folks. Almost done on Liquid Loans. 2 more days. 2 more days and 8 hours left of Liquid Loans. Super successful, of course. The very biggest out of them. But of course, this is lending, PLS, collateralizing PLS, and lending on the blockchain. So lending is typically a huge money maker. So no, not surprised that it's done so well as well. Obviously, the turnover is going to be, if it's pretty decent as expected, this should end up paying pretty good. It's got 9,392 wallets, but probably 15 to 20,000. It's got 1.1 trillion loan tokens, but probably about 25% of these are coming out in the near term. The rest of them are coming out over the next 2 years. So cool. The top one, of course, is the Magic Upright team, as we talked about, and the Hex Gold one, number 2. And then we've got a couple other millionaires in the house as well. Very, very cool. Top 50, almost $9,100 to get in the top 500 wallets there. Very cool for that. And of course, you can see yesterday it was at 46. So what's it up to? So maybe just slowly creeping up there. Made about $26,000 yesterday. So just slowly creeping up there. But like I say, it's almost done. This is my favorite part because there's 4 components. Earlier pays better, bigger pays better, longer pays better, and the referral bonus, which is 5% in most cases. And of course, you can see the longer pays better here was really successful, $17.9 million. And the near term is $17.1 million. Everywhere else is pretty well spread there. 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. 18 months there. So cool. Everybody gets a 6% bonus in loan tokens as you go. So this will be get 6%. They'll get 12%, 18%, 24, etc. Just add 6% on as you go. The final month you get an extra 12. You get 12%, not 6%. So in total over the 2 years you get an extra 150% more loan tokens. So these people at the end here are playing the long game. The people at the near term are going to put it into the platform and be able to earn pulse and loan token dividends. So it's going to be fascinating to see who wins that game. But it's going to be really exciting to see. Obviously, at the beginning of Pulsechain, we're going to have a huge spur up, right? And it's going to be interesting to see. Remember, it's going to be the fees are going to be about 0.5% for the fees there, and it's going to be interesting to see that play. Also, there's liquidation fees, other stuff like that on the Liquid Loans platform, so it is pretty cool. And we might actually pull that up because it's pretty cool to see that. The distribution, obviously, heavily weighted there. Magic Carpet Ride team, which is a syndicate or pool, so that's actually a whole ton of wallets in there. And I imagine it's got probably a couple thousand wallets is my guess. I haven't actually looked to see their sacrifice, but there's probably got something like that. Then Head Gold Wild there with 20%, but that's not coming out for 2 years, and this is spread out over 2 years. They had their wallets were instant, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. So it's quite dispersed in there. And then you've got all this rest of the wallets here. Very, very cool. So yeah, we're getting to the final days, folks. Almost over. Today, for earlier pays better, you will get 4,155 loan tokens per dollar. Tomorrow you'll get 3,957. So it's dropping down about 200 tomorrow. And then the final day, which is March 20th, you'll get 3,768. So that's the earlier pays better. Obviously, there's bigger pays better, longer pays better, which is the one you can really influence. And of course, the referral, 5% referral bonus. Cool on that. So looking good, folks. That is Liquid Loans. And man, it's almost done. So very cool. Now they're going to have, at the end of it, they're going to have a website or something like that with the distribution on it. So that's going to be really great to see the official numbers. Yeah, so very cool. All right, so that's Liquid Loans, and of course the only other one left really. So we've got Liquid Loans and PowerCity left at the moment. PowerCity, let's have a look on this as well. So we've got 2,161,000 sacrificed so far, $1,642. We've got 5.1 million watt tokens. There's 1 day and 20 hours to go until 1.5 ratio. So at the moment you get 1.5. That's earlier pays better. So 1.5 watt tokens per dollar. And of course, you got a day and 20 hours to capture that. The biggest sacrifice are $154,000. The top 500, they need $760 to get in the top 500 there. And as you can see, it's sort of moved around a little bit here. So yesterday we're at 2161. So 2161. So from the previous day, so it's up about $120,000 on that last day. So that's pretty nice. Total, so still got good funds coming in. The wallets are pretty dispersed, a lot of small wallets in this one, but the distribution is probably the best out of them all so far. Look at that, pretty nice. That's a pretty good distribution as well. So here we are on the earlier pays better. We're just slowly at 1.5 at the moment. You got a day and 20 hours or so until it gets to 1.25, then 1 for 1. So definitely better to get in now than later. And of course, this is PowerCity. PowerCity's got a number of products. They're not just doing an NFT marketplace. they are doing, quite a few things. They're doing the core, which is kind of the central hub where all the funds come through, I believe. Then they've got all these products around that core, the transformer bridge on Pulsechain. It's going to be a multi-chain bridge too. They're also looking at NFT marketplace. They're looking at NGR nodes as a service. And of course, they're going to be doing an accelerated yield compounder. This is really exciting for liquid loans. To get kind of automation into liquid loans rather than having to manually operate your liquid loans, you could have a automated protocol, possibly around the haunted strategy, possibly. So I think that's going to be pretty popular, to be honest, if they can get it up early. So that'd be pretty cool. They could launch that pretty close to the liquid lines launch, which is about a month after Pulsechain. That's super bullish. That would be super bullish product. And then the PowerCity Meta is also their metaverse with VR access to the higher ecosystem. So that's pretty cool. There is a second component. It's not just earlier pays better. So 1.5 watt tokens per dollar at the moment. There is another component. We'll just jump down here. So this is the earlier component here. So 1.5. We're currently in day 13 here. Is that day 13? Oh, we're currently at 1.5 anyway. And then, of course, is it Saturday? It is Saturday. I forgot it was Saturday. How about that? That's funny. All right. So on top of that, there is, if you have sacrificed for these other sacrifices, Pulsechain, Pulsex, liquid loans, internet money, you can get up to 55% more bonus, which is great. Now, obviously, you have to use the same wallet for that to apply to. But basically, you're going to get, at the moment, you're getting, let's say you did $15,000, you can get that times 1.5. So 15, that's going to be 30,000 times 1.5. Sorry, that's not 30,000. It's going to be 22,500, and then you're going to get you're going to get 15,000 times. You get 15,000 times 55%. So times 55, that will give you an extra 8,250 tokens plus the original. Then you're going to get 30,750 at the moment. Whereas if you did them at the beginning, you would have got 38,325. That's pretty cool. I believe all these are gone now. They've hit all their targets. So all the random wallets, I believe, have been given out. You can correct me if I'm wrong. They're charity, but I think they're all been done. Could be wrong though. Let's see what happens there. All right, cool. So that's kind of the highlights there. Let me just go back here. I just want to check this. I don't think there's any. We've got these other ones here. We've got FT Pool, free pulse. We've got the free pulse coming up here as well. So I'm a little bit dubious about this project, just the way that they've communicated. So feel free to change my mind on that one. But that's coming up there too. All right, cool. Let us go over to. I think that was kind of where we're at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably where we're at. So let's go check this. This had 62 trillion. Let's refresh this. It's still sitting at 62 trillion on there, so nothing changed on that. And I don't think this has probably changed either yet. No. So, okay. We'll just have to wait. The index is still going. Let's just follow that. Bam. All right. So, continue. Oh, so I'm on 2B. They have to get off 2B. I'm on to Vision 2. Let me get off to Vision 2. Bam. And go into there. Nice. All right. So yeah, still blocking. Still says 5% indexing. So who knows? It's going to start just Sunday update, something like that. When it does, let's get into the chat, folks. Pro Hexer says, "Good morning. Just tested a new test wallet. We see our PLS and PLX, also Hex and Hedron balances. Well done, Pro Hexer. That's so good. Fortunately, I'm only using a test wallet, so I can't really show any real stuff. Not that I would anyway, but anyway, that's the case. Hex is at 12 cents. No way. Let me jump over here. So Hex is at 12. Yes, let's put a bit of oomph in the thing. We're not worthy. So we're talking about getting over 12 cents. We've done it, folks. And looks like test Vision 2B is helping us a bit here to do that. So that's fantastic news. And it's a shame that I didn't get onto it earlier. And we've got Hedron at 320, which is nice. So I'm going to move that to the hourly there. Hedron is at 320. That's really, really cool on the Hedron. Things are good. Hey, we're getting back to green candle live streams again. That's really nice to see that. Sandy Beach says, yeah. Mickey says, yeah, I see my Pulsex tokens now. If you click tokens at the bottom, it shows. Tokens at the bottom, it shows. Let me have a look. Not sure. Oh, at the bottom, okay. Yeah, I'm not even in the right place. So, yeah, I think you talk about your wallet. 12-cent Hex says Pulsechain Hex games. That's awesome. Crypto Tycoon says, I have my PLS and PLS up. That contract code you posted PLX is a go. Oh, nice one, Crypto Tycoon. Woohoo! Nice. I was going to get the Pulsechain one as well. Let me just do. The Pulse one must be pretty obvious too. PLS. Bam. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Is that the Pulse? That's Pulse X. It's got Pulse X. Oh, look, they got Pulse Pad in there. Pulse Pad. And what else we got? Pulse. I don't. There's so many Pulse X ones. I'm not sure whether they're just dodgy things or what. Pulse Chain, Hex PLS, Pulse X, Plush, whatever that is. Let me know if you know what Plush is. I don't know. PLS. Let me get the contract there. So 32,000 holders. The rest of them have got nothing on them. 2 holders, 1 holders. How many dodgy people are out there with these fake contracts or whatever? So the top one is looking good. That's the one we had before. That's the Pulse X one. I thought I was having a PLS. PLS. What's the PLS one? No, PLS. Pulse. Sure if that's the Pulse one. Anyway, I won't muck around with that too much. I've got Pulse in my wallet, but it's let me just change that around. Pulsechain Testnet 2B. Here we go. Bam. All right. And we'll view that in Explorer. Looking good. Hey, welcome everybody, by the way. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. This is really cool news, right? We've got V2B syncing, people checking their balances. Some people see them, others seeing half of them, stuff like that. So it's good. And of course, the price of Hex is moving up 12.12 cents. That's positive. Like I say, if we can get it up to over 12.5 to 14 cent range, it'd be very, very nice at this stage. So that's somewhere between 25 and here. So somewhere, let's put a little markup on that. So we can get somewhere like that, and we'll change that to orange. So if we can get somewhere here to 14 cents, somewhere in between there, would be quite nice to start it off, to kick off the price. And yeah, really cool. All right, let's have a look in here. So got the pulse in there. Now is this, I'm not sure what block this is. Yeah, V2B. So it's definitely showing on the V2B. Coin balance showing up that. Yeah, probably just because the blocks haven't synced up to the current block. So I guess that's what's happening there. Crypto Maniac says I bought some Hedron around a 02 mark. Was happy about that. Yeah, nice one, Crypto Maniac. Gen Hex in the house. Hey, woo-hoo-hoo. Hey, good to see Gen Hex in the house. Don't forget to go subscribe to Gen Hex YouTube channel. One of our very latest content creators in Hex, Pulsechain, and PulseX. Very cool. So check out Gen. That's our famous Craig Wadding of Gen Hex. So go subscribe. Check the channels tab here on Hex Token, and then go subscribe to him. He's going to be ramping up his content up to the right. Up to the right. All right. Solix says Hedron is like a Christmas every day. It is, yeah. I know people that have, pretty much they've claimed the Hedron for the days served. They've sold the Hedron. They've bought X. This is one strategy, and then they're going to be taking out monthly amounts of Hedron every month going forward. And of course, I know other people that have just not even touched their Hedron. They're just going to leave it and see how it goes, and hope for the big X returns like Hex did. And then I've got other people that are doing HSI stakes and lending stuff like that. So a lot of different use cases for Hedron. And of course, it's going to be interesting to see which one pays out best over time, right? And then of course, we've had a lot of people buy Hedron. And of course, if you buy Hedron really cheap, then you are pretty much picking up people that have got big Hex T shares and that have sold the Hedron out, and you pick that up and the price goes up and to the right really, really fast, particularly faster than the Hex price. Then you will be laughing yourself silly, right? You're pretty much picking up a big T shareholder's Hedron bag because they sold it cheaper. So congratulations to you. There we are. They've got a nice little bit of a redistribution there as well. So pretty, it's all fun, isn't it? But pretty nice. Now, we've got Lammy in house says that moment when you look at testnet V2 balances and you realize you have sacrificed way too much for PLX and not enough for PLS, says Lammy. Yeah, well, a lot of people did that. Lemmy. That's why there's a few people wanting to sacrifice some PLX or PLS on the launch of Pulsechain. Cryptomanic says could have bought lower, but it took too long to transfer ETH from Coinbase. Yeah, hate that when it happens, Cryptomanic. Hate that. Not that I don't use centralized exchange anymore, but I do hate that when it does happen. Wow, Hex is pumping. Our matcher. Nice one, Sandy Beach. Scott's got the thumbs up there. What else we got going? Jump through some of these. Ramon says, when Hex, which Hex on Pulsechain Explorer is the one we need to add to our MetaMask for our Hex to show up? What's it? I haven't even looked for Hex on here. Let's look for Hex on here. Like I say, I haven't actually gone through this, so I'm just doing it live with you guys, with you fellas and fellasses. So there is the top contract that's got Hex written on it. I guess it's this one here. I guess it's this one, OX39, which is the same one, right? It's just on a different chain, so I guess it's that one there. So that is, add that to your wallet. I guess it's the one to go. That one, Ramon. Try that one, Ramon. Let us know if it matches up your balance. HT Hex Token Pump. Yeah, Brendan, we're back. Hex Token channel is back into the pumps. We can claim that our fame is sealed in. CM says, heads up, it shows my Hedron, Hex, Pulse, and PulseX balances. Nice one, CMO. Woohoo! So, folks, this is the network, of course, for Pulsechain Testnet 2B. I've added this in myself, okay? So, Pulsechain Testnet 2B. We've got the RPC there. It's like a Testnet 1, Testnet 2, sorry, but we've just got the 2B in there. And of course, then the chain is a new chain number. Pulsechain Testnet 2 is 940, but Pulsechain Testnet 2B is 941. Thanks to Fish Tank for that. And of course, currency symbol is TPLS. And of course, we've got the blockchain Explorer, which is V2B. And of course, that's what we're looking at here on the Explorer here. You can see it there up the top. So cool. Dan Smith says, hats off to our man Hex Token for getting the Testnet 2.5 years details first. Yeah, well, actually, they were actually up on. I have been checking it every day. I just put in the letter B into the URL because I figured that's what they were going to do. But yeah, it was actually Magic Carpet Ride that was just before this live stream that got that up first there, Dan. But I have been checking it myself. I didn't realize what the actual link was going to be. Testnet a 2B Hex pump, says Brazology. Absolutely. So nice on that. Very, very cool. So yeah, it should be up tomorrow. So I guess it's going to finish itself syncing and stuff like that. I haven't actually tested. I haven't actually checked myself. So yeah, I'm actually done. Mine's a bit more complicated, but hopefully I'll get to check that out as we go. Amanda Brands Grows in the house. Hello world, with a nice big heart. Hey, that's very nice, Amanda. We appreciate that. We're all about the love. We're all about the love in the Hex Pulsechain PulseX community, and that's coming from a dude. Coming from a dude. All right, dude down under. That's how we actually get a channel called Dude Down Under. That actually might be quite a good idea. We could talk about random stuff around New Zealand, like going. Have you seen those YouTube channels where they might be in Russia and they're talking about the prices of food going up and stuff like that, and they get massive followers. And people going through just everywhere, all over the world. If you're doing any of that sort of stuff, they get massive people following. And all they're doing is just saying, this is the price of bread and milk. And then they get like, 1 million followers or something like that. It's like, it's crazy stuff. I've probably given a few of you guys some ideas. So if you're in a country, there's not a lot of YouTubers covering that country, and you want to become a YouTuber, that's an obvious one, right? Just get out there and start going, hey, here is the price of milk. And look, this is empty. This place is empty. Stuff like that. So yeah, they're pretty funny, but they do. The channels do really well. It's crazy. I don't know. It's food for thought there. I digress. Ramon says negative. I get this error. This address matches a known Ethereum mainnet token address. Yeah. Recheck the contract address and network for the token you are trying to add. Right. Okay. I figure that might be the case, but let's have a look. That's the one that came up, right? Oh, that's the PulseX one. That works. We've confirmed that one. And where was the last one I was looking up? Hex. That's one I was looking at. There's any other ones in there? What else we got going? 78s. Hex State Instance. Look at this. Hex State Instances in there. Wow. Cool. Hexapunks. I haven't even heard of Hexapunks. Hexagon Kings. Hex Bear. Hex Toys. Well, we know Hex Toys. I didn't even realize that Hex Toys had a token. Maybe someone's done it. Problem is with all these big brand names that scammers are quick to pick up on these things and make pretend tokens. So you never even know. You have to actually obviously go back to the official place. But yeah, Hexagon, Hex Myth, Hex Fantasy. That's crazy. Hex Play. Here's Mooney Swap. I think someone was talking about Mooney Swap earlier. Mooney Swap. Hex D. There's quite a few there. Hex Inu. Hex World. It's crazy stuff in there. Pulsechain Hex. What the heck? PLS. Not sure what that is. Anyway, I come to a silent pause as I can't work it out. So we'll have to work on that one there, Ramon. Hex contract address works for me, says Dan. Yeah, have you got the right, Ramon? You're on the Pulsechain there. I'm not sure, so I haven't got that up. So, woo, says Craig. It should be the same one. It should be the same. It's got fetching holders and transact features there, but yeah. Hex Shiba Pulse. Hex Shiba Pulse. It says killer. Yeah, that's right. Now I know some of you are holding some of those random named Hex coins. I know it. Now, own up in the chat if you're holding some of these random ones in the chat there. I know some of you are. Man, the one thing I hate about the blockchain is that people airdropping all those scam coins. You know, they try to get you to interact with the contracts, and then of course it's game over, right? They get access to your wallet or something like that. Prove functions. Be very careful on all those airdrops. They're just not airdrops. Just unless you know that it's kind of official airdrop, just avoid those with as much as you can. All right, it's cool. So we're going to get out of that, but that is the Faucet 2B. That's in the link there. So definitely use that. And of course, let's jump out of there. Let's jump out of that and jump out of that. Jump out of that. Jump out of that. Jump out of that. And of course, we'll jump out of that, and that. Let's go to Hedron here. Hedron at 3,200, holding up pretty well. We've got Hex at 12.14. Definitely want that to get into 12.5 to 14. In the next 24 hours, it'd be nice to get it over 12.5. That'd be very, very cool as well. All right, almost lost that screen there for a second. All right, so that's looking good. If you want to add the Pulsechain Testnet to 2B details to your wallet, just pause the video, add in these details here as well. So I'll just actually, what I'll do is I'll post these in the video afterwards, maybe. Yeah, I'll try and do that. But here is the two main ones. So let me just post this in the chat while I'm here. So bam, post that's the first one. And then the second one here. We'll post that. Bam, that's the second part. And then we'll post the chain ID 941. That is this third part there. Unfortunately, no one's making a comment. And I've got a symbol here. I guess it's the same. And bam. Oh, that's the wrong one. No, wrong one there. Let me post this one. Not sure what happened there. Sorry, I posted that. Oh, what's it doing again? Really? I just copied it in there. That's funny. All right, so forget my silliness there. Let's go for the recharge there. I was almost about to post that 941 3 times. That would have been insane. And then of course here is the Block Explorer 2B, and of course it's still syncing, but due to be finished hopefully by tomorrow or before, whenever it does. Let's go back to there again. And I'm going to add in 2B on that. There we go. All right, so nice. Refresh that. See if it shows anything yet. This probably won't show up till the end, is my guess. Since I just added the latest transaction and the latest block. Nice. Looking good. All right, let's see how we're going in the chat there. We got Jen Hex says Hex Superman token. I appreciate that. Fish Tank says Hex Elon Shiba Pulse Hex. Yeah. Got the smiles on that. Blair says, what is PulsePad? And what does it do? I don't know. I do not know. I kind of heard of it, but I don't know what it does. Let's have a quick look, see if we can find it quickly. Gecko, I guess. Oh, no, let's go deck screeners. While we're doing that, we can just go deck screeners. Let's show the menu. Let's go deck screeners on that, and it's probably in here somewhere. Let's see if it's got pulse. What do we say? Pulse pad? Is that what we called it? We say pulse pad. Pulse pad, yeah. We've got pulse pad here. I'm not sure which one this is, but maybe it's this one up here. It's on Binance. Maybe it's on this one. Doesn't really on the right there. Market cap $4 million, so it's a small one from the looks of it. Assuming this is the official one that we're talking about. Cool. What else we got there? We got posted all those links there. We got Physiology's got the emojis in the house. Skybank says any contract address you need, you just click on tokens, and then all on the V2 Explorer. Yeah, just this one here, eh? So then just click all. This is the one you can look at there. We've got all these in here. We've got Hex up here. We've got Pulse X here. What else we got? Hedron down here, so you can check your Hedron balances. So that's cool. So I'll post that. You can check that out. 2B. Nice one there, Skybank. You can post that in the house. So check the tokens there. PulsePad is not a Richard Hart project. It's Genex. No, it's not. Hex Token first live stream on V2B Testnet. Yeah, I guess so. But it was Magic Upright did pull it up first before me. So credit to them. PulsePad is a launch token. I think not Richard Hart related, made by Bluezilla. Right, Brennan. Yeah. I had heard of it, but I hadn't, I don't, because I'm a Richard Hart maxi, I don't typically check those. Apart from the projects going on to Pulsechain that are going to add value, definitely for sure. Thanks to, says Blair. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So there's all the tokens, folks. You want to check out the list of those. You can add, just go into the contract there and add those to your MetaMask wallet as an import token after you've added in the actual blockchain for a V2B, which is 941. So pretty cool on that. Nice chess ball. So the key ones there, obviously we've got what do we got here? We've got, what did I say? Pulse X. We've got Pulse X here. And this is the one here. We've got what else we got here? I know many of you got Shiba. So where's Shiba? Shiba's around there somewhere. I'm just teasing about that. Just teasing. Hey, there's Oryx token. This is Randy Alasky. Oryx token looks like. What else we got here? We got Hedron there. Did we have PLS? I'm not sure if I had PLS there. I thought PLS was at the top, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I can't see it there. PLS. I wonder if that brings all of them up onto the page. Cool. All right, so Pulsechain. So this one here, I guess. Oh, that one there. Pulsechain Hex. Pulse. Cool. All right, cool. That is the big news. Let's go back and see if Richard Hart's got anything else there. We're going to wrap up. It's an hour and 30 minutes. And I've got into monotone voice, which is never the best. Never have a monotone voice when you're doing YouTubing. But that's where we're at there. Hey, look at us. My barber working his magic to make sure I got the right haircut for tonight's event. Nice. Look at that. Woohoo! That's pretty cool. And the good thing about that is that his hair will grow back. So nice. Unless he's tattooing into it. Unless he's going to shave it and then tattoo on it. I think it's a barber, right? It's a barber, yeah. All right, cool. And it looks like we won a car race as well. Looks like we won this car race. So here's, did we win that? 233.9 miles fast event. So it looks pretty good. That's got a hex number at hex.com on that car. So nice. Looks like they may have done really well with that. Anyway, I've lost my access there. So Hex looking pretty good, 12.15 cents. Hedron at 3139. And of course, V2B sinking there, looking good. Pretty exciting. Credit Mate says, was anyone able to import Hex? Can't seem to find the right contract address. And the OC20 pulse pad chart looks like death. Does kind of look like that too. Brazology. Pump and dump token. Yeah, it is a pump and dump token. Ramon says, anyone else having problem adding tokens? I keep getting on an Ethereum mainnet warning when I try to add tokens to my testnet wallet. Unfortunately, I could, I'd have to actually access that on my own, but let me have a look. Yeah, it's going to take me a bit longer to add all in. I don't want to log in and stuff like that, so it might take me a little while. TCS, thanks for another excellent video. Go Hex. Hey, Ramon, what I might do is I might add a little community tab, and I'll post some of the addresses there, and hopefully that will help out for that one there, Ramon. CryptoMan says that's only for Hex. The PLX and the PLX is fine. And Dingwall's got the monkeys don't see, don't speak, don't do. In my case, if you need a contract address, 12.1, let's go. Yeah, let's finish on the Hex price. Looking good. Let's zoom that up, folks. Look at that. Nice. That is the Hex price. Looking really good. I'm so stoked about that as well. Very cool. All right, so now on 30, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If something happens with the price chart in the evening, you know me, I will be on live. So far, 4 nights in a row, I've been doing a price chart for X and Hedron. If we do get some action later in the evening, I will jump on. Otherwise, I will catch you guys all tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this one. Exciting times ahead, folks. And yeah, live long and prosper, as we say, in my planet. All right, bye for now. That's not really my planet, but, Krypton, but, that's how we roll. All right, I'm being silly now, so I better get off the channel. All right, take care, everybody. And let me just type off my usual goodbye. Thanks for watching. Let me go in here. All right, so don't forget, if you haven't subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, that good stuff for YouTube. And if you're a Hex Token channel member, you know how we roll. Let's emoji this thing out as we leave. That's right. So after this, I'm going to adding the Hedron emoji, folks. So if you're a Hex Token channel member, Hedron emoji is coming. It will be added after this live stream. Catch it then as well. And I'll try and get a post up about the V2B up as well. All right, take care now. Bye. Let me post that. Is that watching? Yeah, good. We're good. All right.